Hello, my name is Roman Balbanov. I was originally born in Russia in 1985, and I moved here to the US, to California. I've always been a fan of the internet. Video games, computer games, surfing the web, research. But there's always one thing that I've always been interested in the most. What really is behind the internet. Me and you, we know the internet as Facebook, Google, Yahoo, our favorite YouTube videos, our channels. But what really consists of what we call the internet? Welcome to my tutorial. Today, we're going to be talking about how to access the deep web. The deep web, just a quick synopsis of what it is. I'm actually going to pull up an image for you. If we search the deep web on Google, we will find a lot of pictures. The deep web, the invisible web, or hidden web are parts of the World Wide Web whose contents are not indexed by standard search engines for any reason. The deep web is opposite to the surface web. So if we take a look here at a picture, you will see, let me zoom in here so you can actually see it. You'll see that we have our normal websites, LiveLeak, the Pirate Bay, 2chan, 4chan, 808chan, 7chan, 420chan, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr. But as you drop down a little bit, the chans, Gaia, those are slightly underneath the surface web. Do take note that the tip of the iceberg is only about 5% of what you actually see on the internet. As you start to dive down farther, you start to see Pedoplanet, Storage, Kinzaza-chan, Tor-chan, Tor-PM, Onion IB, OpenChan, OnionChan, Hidden Wiki, Hard Candy, etc., etc., etc. It goes on for hours. I can go on for hours listing off websites. Notice how it says either use a proxy or say hi to the FBI. Why is this, do we ask? It's because what you see, anything below this line right here, is considered illegal. Now, not all of it. Not all of it's illegal. There are some things that are interesting or funny or just a good read in general. We'll be covering all of that later. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to install the application we use to access the dark web. I'm going to put it right on his face. Tor browser. Now, as you can notice, I am on Ubuntu desktop. I'm on a desktop computer using Ubuntu. Now, I don't recommend using your host OS to run on the deep web, unless you're only going on and you're going to do anything illegal. You're not going to view websites that you don't know what they are. If you click on a link, but you don't know what the link is, be prepared. I'm also writing a novel, more of a, not really a novel, but an article. I'll give you a quick snapshot. It's called The Dark Web. The title is still being worked on. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call it yet. But as you can see here, I have a lot of text written up. I have an actual interview with somebody. And it's broken into days. Days that I spend searching the deep web and what I discover. That will be available later, at a later point. It's also recommended you keep a log of the websites you find that could be interesting. But be very careful of the links that you save. For what you save may get you arrested. Rule number 1. We're going to go over rules, actually. I'm going to write these down. I wasn't planning on actually writing anything here. But I do want to write down a few rules. Rules for the deep web. Rule number 1. Never, ever download anything. Especially if you are on your host OS. If you have a computer that's not able to run a virtual machine, do not download anything, whether it's a video file, an image file. Even if you could see the image file and already know what it is, do not download it. Rule number 2. Always keep Tor in its default size. No maximizing. Do not maximize the screen. And it can be used to find you. Rule number 3. Always have no script enabled. No script is always enabled anyways by default, but do not turn it off. Rule number 4. Do not use Java. Java will get you killed, or found, or arrested, or something of that sort. If you want to say hello to the FBI, then go ahead and break all these rules. I, fortunately, have not had any notices from my cable company, nor have I gotten any visits from the police. Rule number 5. Always use your brain. If you think something is a little sketchy, don't do it. If you're going to buy stuff, at least be smart about it. If you're going to look up things that you shouldn't be looking up, that you can't look up on the surface web, use your brain. Those are general 5 rules, I would say, that will keep you safe on the deep web. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. We only got a few minutes left here, so I'm not going to get into the actual downloading of Tor yet, but I'm going to go over the tools we're going to need. I'm going to write them down here so you can visually see. Things we need. The first thing is we need our host OS. Now, if you're using a throwaway laptop like I suggest using, or a nice desktop that's powerful that you don't really necessarily can just throw out, you're going to want to use a virtual machine for this. If you're using a throwaway laptop in a public area, then you should be fine. There really isn't too much you can do. Not too much the police can do to actually track you as a person down. They can track that restaurant or that business down, but not you as a person. The 2 things is we want an I2P network. I'm going to show you how to download that and get that running. That is really important. That's going to help mask your IP on your host machine in case they were to manage, if you're using, for my example myself, I'm going to be showing you how to use a virtual machine. But in case you don't have virtual machine, you're going to want to use an I2P network. Either way, you need to use an I2P. 3, how to install. We're going to install a virtual machine. We're going to use that with Oracle. Oracle makes a virtual machine. Then I'm going to show you how to get the .iso file for Tails, which is the OS we're going to use in our operating system. I'm sorry, Tails will be the operating system that we're going to use for a virtual machine. 5, we're going to install Tor. Now, I'm going to show you how to install Tor. It already comes built into Tails, but I'm going to show you how to install Tor anyways, for those of you who aren't using a virtual machine with Tails. Your host OS, here are your options. Ubuntu is fine. Tails is highly suggested. Linux is highly suggested. and then any others that you may know of. Alright guys, so that's all I'm going to go over for this video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. The next video will be coming shortly. I'm going to try to upload a few times a week with new episodes. We'll see you guys next time. Again, my name is Roman, aka First 1989. Peace.